how to deal with nail repairs. This is under customer service, and I think it's really important for you to understand how to properly handle these situations. We're going to jump into this right now on the Biz Talk. Tracey, before we talk about how to handle repairs, I want to know, how are you handling my socks today? Look at these things.
You know how I handled them?
How?
I did not notice them.
But I just pointed them out. So how are you handling it now?
Gray. What are you talking about?
Huh?
They're gray. They match your...
No. But there's a little bit of color pop right there. It's a little person on a little floaty little summertime socks. You like them? They make you feel warm inside?
I like your socks, don't like you.
Okay, I'll take it. Anything.
So mean.
Okay, so this initially I didn't think was enough to maybe have its own episode here on the podcast. But as I was talking to you before we were, deciding to shoot this, this is real life salon situations. And then you got into like the stuff that customers will do and try to pull. And I was like, oh, okay, no, we need to talk about this because now we're getting into like back to like communicating and all that stuff. Okay. Before we jump into it, let's just start with what exactly, when we're talking about nail repairs, what are we talking about?
Nail repairs. So I guaranteed my work for 2 weeks.
Okay.
After someone got them. So if you lifted, you chipped your nail, you broke your nail, I wanted you to come in and get them fixed because I don't want you walking around like that.
Okay.
So those services were free.
Okay.
Now,
So
with the idea of not having that many.
Right. Of course, because you're going to make the assumption your work is solid,
right.
But there are random situations that come up. You got to fix
happens.
them. It happens. Right. So, okay. You set the guidelines for your clients, letting them know, I guarantee it for 2 weeks. Client comes in, nail is cracked, nail is broken.
Right.
You're going to make an observation and determine this is legit, not legit. Like, how do you that's the part that's interesting to me is like, now you're getting into, well, what if it's the customer's fault? Or what if how do you know if it's their fault or your fault?
Sometimes it is their fault and they own up to it. Like they're like, hey, I was in Reading wakeboarding and I don't know what I'm doing. And I just kept on falling and my nails, you know what? Not a big deal. Not a big deal. I'm going to fix it. Because again, I don't want you walking around like, now if they broke all their nails, which I have had happen with wakeboarding, then we need to talk because that's not something that's covered under free repairs. So,
right.
Yeah. And you know what? I got nervous and I bit my nail off. You know what? Come in. I'll fix it. Don't do it again.
Right.
Then we got to talk. Then it's going to be repair and you're going to get charged.
Okay. Now that we have that part established, let's go to the first step of client comes back and says, okay, Tracey, I have a nervous habit. I'm sorry. This is I chewed my nail off again. So what do you charge? Like, how do you go about like where you've had the conversation with the client, you've let them know, but then they just keep doing it.
Right. It's, when I was in salon, which has been a while, so I might have increased the price by now.
Okay.
It was $5 per repair.
Oh, okay. How long would it take to do a repair?
Now, see, that's the thing. If they had artwork, then they have to pay for the artwork again, too. So, because it takes longer. So, if we're just talking a basic repair with a manicure top, which you usually can get by with, because they mix and match and you have a nude nail. So 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, that's a good chunk of time.
It can take time, and I'm only charging $5 for it. So I better hope that doesn't happen that often. Now, that's where we get to if it continues. So they have multiple repairs.
Okay.
So that was what people would say. Well, you're telling me it's $5 per nail. I have 10 nails. That's, $50. So it's cheaper than a full set. No. That's not how it works.
Oh, right.
That's not how it works. It's like, it literally is for like one nail,
right.
2 nails max. And that's assuming that that's on me, that there was a problem.
Right.
Again, got nervous. I bit my nail. You know what?
It's all good.
Good.
You're going to let some things.
I understand. I do the same thing.
Slide.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's taking charge. It's like, knowing the boundary of like what's legit and what's not, and what you're willing to let slide, and where is that, okay, I'm done.
Right. Okay. So this is like a real part of salon business that I think many people who are getting started, you're not going to think about this, right?
Right.
It's like when, again, I like to, relate my experience. When I first got into business here at Young Nails, I didn't think like, oh my God, I have to collect the money. Like, why do I have to collect the money?
People just naturally want to give me money.
They want to give me money. Like I give you a service or a product in our case, and you pay me the money when it's due in 30 days. And then you very quickly realize, no, they don't. A lot don't. And you have to understand how to communicate. This is a perfect example of that situation where things are going to happen. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to do repairs. You've got to be able to communicate it effectively.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And in the proper way. And I like where it's not like totally black and white for you, Trace, where you're like, you bit it off and da-da-da. It's like, no. I'm like, there's wiggle room, it's service.
It's like when I talk about, customers showing up late. It's not like, okay, you got in a car wreck and I do not understand that you're 10 minutes.
Right. Life happens.
It happens. I've done it myself. So you none of these rules for me are black and white.
Right. There's always wiggle room, and you got to take it situation by situation.
I call it common sense.
Yeah. Use common sense.
Yeah. Use your common sense.
That's real life business. Okay. Now let's talk about, so that makes sense to me. What you would charge back then, you'd probably charge more now for repair. Obviously, if there's more than one nail, that's a different conversation.
It's a different conversation.
What about, you were telling me of a situation where you had a client that was doing something very interesting right before her fill. Let's talk. Can we talk about that?
So it just happened to be that she would have repairs right before her fill.
Okay. Was this more than once that it happened?
She did it like probably two times, and I took notice. Like,
okay.
And because it was 2 times in a row, and I'm like,
so explain exactly what happened. Because when you first said it, I was like, I don't like.
So basically, right before their appointment, right?
Their 2-week appointment.
Your 2-week appointment is this Wednesday.
Okay.
You call me today and say, I have 2 nails.
Today's Monday.
Yeah, I have 3 nails that are lifted, and I need you to fix it.
Okay. So then
or I have a couple broken nails, and I need you to fix it.
Okay. So come in. You're going to charge. Well, let's say it's the first time that they do it.
Oh, first time. I might do it, but more than likely, especially if it was a Monday and they're coming on Wednesday, I would say, okay, that, we'll take a really good look at them Wednesday at your
when you
appointment.
come in. But on this situation, she came in.
She probably did it probably 4 days, 3 days.
Okay.
4 days,
still pushing it.
It's close enough to her appointment, but not right at her appointment where I was like, she needs to wait. Okay, yeah, come in. I repaired them. And then all of a sudden, well, you know what? Man, these look really good. You know what? I don't think I need to come in for my appointment.
Yeah, I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Huh. How'd that work?
Interesting.
So get her in. Next time this happens again, and you're like,
there's a pattern emerging.
There's a pattern. No, this doesn't work for me. Just because we say that most clients can come in 2, some even push 4, it depends on the growth of the nail. There are clients that grow so fast that they come in sooner. I had clients that come in once a week.
Wow.
Very rare, but they just grew that fast.
And you have some clients that maybe can go 3 to 4 and they're okay,
yeah,
right?
And the people that grew once a week, they didn't have to, but it just looked really grown out. It wasn't my work. They just really grew, and I charged them the same amount of money. It wasn't like I was doing less work. I was doing the same amount of money.
Of course.
Yeah.
So what is the conversation that you're going to have that you did have with this person?
Right.
Like how did you, because you have your boundaries, you have your rules, you have, exactly how you deal with repairs. What was that conversation?
So basically it was like, hey, I've noticed this has happened, and it's really throwing my schedule off, first of all, because you're switching your appointments. I have a full clientele. There's really no wiggle.
There's no room. Yeah.
I'm making it work. I'm staying late or whatever. However, we need to address the fact that your nails aren't lasting.
Right.
And
that's the number one issue.
So either it's my work. So you might be having a problem with my work. Maybe I need you to go to someone else. Maybe we need to thicken them up. Maybe you start giving them these solutions of like, if you continue to break your nails,
That's good.
we have to do something to fix that. And then they're like, oh, I don't want my nails thicker. Oh, I don't want to go to someone else. Oh, I don't want to switch products. You know, they start doing like, oh, okay. Like either I'm going to have to either start charging you for repairs because you're not wearing what you should wear, or I think they need to be thicker and I can't keep doing repairs like this, or we have to switch.
Right.
And they start figuring it out really quick.
Of course, because even if you charge them for repairs and then they delay their appointment, they're still like financially, it's a benefit for them.
I'm losing money.
You're losing money, right? And you could fit somebody in that spot, every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever that schedule is. You could fit somebody in there that's going to come consistently. You can't, it's like, it becomes kind of a sacred spot. You can't just hold it for somebody that is going to keep doing this.
And what I want to clarify, this isn't like a brand new customer, because I talk about this. Not everybody can wear everything. And some people do need their nails thicker, and some people need gel versus acrylic, or vice versa. This is a client that has never had problems, and all of a sudden that they're hurting financially. And I get it, because we've talked about this before, and people kind of hit us up on their comments of like, hey, you don't understand when people can't afford. No, I do, but the appointments that I have are very important that I fill them, because I need the income myself,
right?
And I can fill them with other people that can afford it. No offense to the person that can't afford it. I can't. I have to fill my spot with people who can afford things.
Yeah, and I think the right way to go about this, that situation where somebody's having troubles financially is, look, I know you're in a bind. I know financially you're having troubles. Like, let's stop getting your nails done, right? Like that.
It's an option. And
it is an option.
It's an option. It's just like.
But that's the most responsible thing you can do if you care about somebody's situation. It's like, I don't want your money. Like, I care more about your actual financial health. Nails, you're not gonna like die, right? It's not a life or death situation. Pause. When you're ready, you're a great client. When you're ready, call me. We'll make something happen. That's the best thing you can do. But you can't give somebody free services. That's not fair that's not doing anybody any good. It's just not.
It's not. And yeah, I'm very sympathetic to people, and I would never be upset at a client that couldn't afford to get their nails. I've been there.
Of course.
I've reduced, hair or whatever when I couldn't afford it. And it sucks, but I know that my hairdresser or esthetician or whatever needs the income. They need that spot.
It's there's a fine line. Like, you have to have that barrier of like, it's okay to care about somebody so much that, look, I'm not going to take your money.
Right.
Like, that's the most amazing thing you can do. But you can't start like then putting yourself in financial risk and like hurting and putting your family at risk. Right. It's better just to have that conversation and like keep it clean, keep it nice, keep it cool.
Keep it clean.
Keep it clean, man.
So I would rather have that conversation with that client of her saying, you know what, I'm just struggling.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Your nails do pretty good if you quit biting them off.
Right.
Why don't you try to extend it a week? We could, I'll work with you on
Sure.
that. I'm not a horrible person. I will work with people. Maybe we can figure out something that's going to, work better for you. Maybe you should go to gel polish and shorter nails. It won't notice as much, and it'll be a cheaper, and you'll have beautiful nails still. We can come up with something.
Those are all great options. Obviously the last place to go would be like, look, you can't afford it. Yeah. I'll hold your spot. But no, those are great first options of like, can we bring it down? Can we make this work?
Yeah.
Those are all really good.
Just open communication. But, and it's, again, just honesty, like I think I was mentioning the wakeboarding, there's the clients who don't want to say anything because they feel like you're going to get mad or charged. And so I had one girl who, man, all her nails came off. It was the weirdest thing. Like, I'd never had the problem. And but she didn't tell me anything about her
Yeah.
weekend. And then her friend, who I did, came in after and was like, "Oh yeah, we went
had so much fun."
wakeboarding. We didn't know what we were doing. The thing kept on ripping out of our hands."
Oh my God.
And I'm
Got it.
like, yeah,
Take a little note.
yeah. Didn't just happen while you were sleeping.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, like one of the common themes that continues to come up is this whole idea of just being open and honest, like you were saying, and having clear, kind conversation, like nice, easy conversation. I don't want to say easy because it can be challenging, but what I mean by that is not aggressive, like kind of just a soft conversation when it comes to these topics, because if you're having to fix nails constantly and you're not charging for them, or if a client starts to take advantage, like some of the situations that Tracey was talking about, you need to have that conversation with the client, and you've got to set those boundaries. You know what I'm saying? It's a place of business. It's super important to do that. And I think that's the biggest takeaway from this one is have that conversation.
It's all about communication.
100%, 100%. Let us know in the comments below. What do you do for repairs, for nail repairs? How do you deal with them? Maybe it'll help somebody else who's just getting started kind of, develop some sort of strategy. Tracey, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much. Thank you very much. And we will see you next time on the Biz Talk.